And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Daniel Chamberlain. This is the Coaching 101 podcast. We are in Tampa, Florida. I keep wanting to say Naples, Florida, and I have no idea why. That's
Tampa.
so weird.
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida at the Athletic Director Convention, the National Athletic Director Convention. I am joined by Ace Sports, Will Bogs.
What's up? What's up?
Will is a very young, he's a collegiate student right now, going to the University of Arkansas. So kind of over my neck of the woods.
Yep.
But he says he's a college football guru. He knows all the things. So we're going to talk a little bit of the playoffs.
Let's do it.
So introduce yourself first. Talk about Ace Sports. Kind of when did you start working? Coming to these clinics?
I started working for Ace Sports this last summer. Started coming to some clinics, seeing the boards. My roommate is actually with the company. His dad owns the company, so got into it that way. Started working there, and now doing some of the sales and marketing for him. So it's pretty cool.
Which is ridiculous, good or cool experience to have before you ever get your first job. You've got such a cool job like this, right?
It's awesome.
Cade was too chicken to come on the podcast. That's what I heard him over there saying. He wasn't gonna make it. So
he's scared.
All right, man, let's talk a little bit of college football. You said earlier today, I think that you have, is it Tech? You think Tech's going all the way?
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but yeah, Texas Tech.
Walk me through that side of the bracket. Who do you think is going where?
Well, I think Tech's got the best option. They got a first-round bye, and then I think they have a better chance against playing a Big Ten team than a SEC team, just because how big SEC teams are. And Tech's got a good defense. They top 3 defense in the nation right now. And my buddy's on the offensive side of the ball. He's one of the starting running backs for Texas Tech, so I'm a little biased. He was my quarterback in high school.
Well, it's always neat when you get to play with a D1 athlete as your quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was pretty cool. But yeah, it is neat seeing your friends go on and have these super successful careers. And of course, Tech is tearing it up this year.
Yeah,
right?
They are. They completely turned it around. They got about $29 million at NIL come in, oil money up there in West Texas, and they definitely used it right. They bought their way to college football playoff.
We'll start with their branch. Obviously, they're awaiting the winner of Oregon JMU. Who are you taking and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Oregon. It's a close one, right?
This is one of the silliest years, and I think this leads to an expansion again. We're probably at 16 or 32 teams.
Yeah.
Not that I want that. I'm not saying that I like that, but you can't leave out a conference champ. But also that conference I don't think it's the same brand of football, right?
It's not.
So they get in, and nothing against JMU staff or the players or the program. Look, they're in the dance now. They have a chance. I don't know how realistic that is. I think most people can be reasonable.
Yeah.
Oregon's probably walking out of there the victors.
I think they're like a 24-point favorite, something insane like that.
And I don't know, like if we just look at getting those two teams in, because was it JMU and Tulane, right?
Yeah.
They sneak in. Tulane's had a pretty successful year. JMU's had a pretty successful year. I don't know if I'm one of those programs that I'm really looking forward to my seniors going out getting thrashed. Now maybe it's Cinderella story and they win it.
Yeah.
And I hope they do, honestly, because that would throw some levity in.
That'd be crazy.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And people would be, I think, more entertained. You don't want your blue bloods to lose out in the first round against something like that.
No,
but
you don't.
I guess that would kind of stake their claim. Like maybe we got to keep it this way.
Be more excitement. They could also add a group of 5 playoff. I think that'd be very exciting.
I was looking at, of course, when Notre Dame, got left out and then went on their little tirade of temper tantrum or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw some people making like a football NIT bracket, and I thought that was a really neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in such a physical game if you're going to get people to play for games that don't matter. I think even bowl games are on their way out because maybe we end up with a 32 or 64 team field, and that's the bowl games.
Yeah.
Like you're going bowling, you're in the playoff. I don't know, but it just seems like games that with kids and transfer portal and NIL, like they're making millions of dollars. Do we want to risk them for? I'm going to say Pop-Tart Bowl, not because I think it's not worth it, but it's the one I can remember right now because they've done a really good job of putting that in everyone's mind. But are they going to go out and risk it for the pop to eat a dying Pop-Tart?
I agree, and a lot of teams, not even just Notre Dame, are opting out of bowl games. Yeah. And it's because some of those players too, like they have careers in the NFL ahead, and they don't want to risk any injuries on a game that doesn't matter.
What are your thoughts on that? So is it playoffs or bust. Like if I can't go win the national championship, I shouldn't play anymore. Where are you feeling?
Well, I like to watch football, so I'm saying go play it. And like if I'm a senior in college and it's my last game to play, I don't want to miss out on that. I want to enjoy every moment of that if I'm not going to the NFL, So I think the seniors are kind of missing out, the ones that aren't moving on. But it makes sense. It makes logical sense. But there's also that other side of it where let's just watch the boys play.
Yeah, and you get back to it, and it's like, why put on uniform at all?
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to sit out these games because they don't matter,
yeah.
Should you cancel your season as soon as you get your second or third loss because you know you're not going to be in the – what if you go 0-3 to start the season?
Yeah.
Is that it? You just shut the program down because, well, these games don't matter anymore? Like,
yeah.
There's still something to play for. And I know bowl games are probably outdated, right? It used to be like one last recruiting chance. And look, we've, Oklahoma, like Bob Stoops, he's won every major bowl, right? There's not a lot of coaches that have done that. It was something you could kind of hang your hat on when you're in recruiting. But now we're not talking.
Doesn't mean as
did
much.
You get in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Did you get into the semis or the quarters? And then did you go to the big dance?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like it is an outdated system maybe. And maybe that's why playoffs has to happen. We're watching the was it D2 playoffs right now?
Uh-huh.
We're watching, I think it was Tarleton State got beat last night, upset. And, that's awesome. That's good football. It's playoff football. It matters. Maybe we have to go that way.
Yeah.
Just with all the bowls.
No, I agree. Yeah.
All right, so we got Oregon and then Tech. Who's winning it? You got
Texas Tech, obviously.
You got it. Okay. Why?
I think they have the better defense. I think Tech's more explosive than Oregon. Oregon has great offensive weapons. I do believe their wide receiver, that really good one, I don't know his name. He might be out for that game. I don't know if he's going to make it. So that's gonna be a big wrench in their system. I don't know. I just think Oregon's had an easier schedule. I know Tech's had an easy schedule, yes, but Oregon's also had an easy schedule. And I think when they face this top 3 defense in Texas Tech, they're going to be overwhelmed. And that's just
there's something to be said for 3 Big Ten teams.
Yeah,
if I'm looking at the numbers over here. Yeah, I think it's 3. But you have to start looking at that schedule. Like, what was their strength of schedule, right?
Yeah.
And that's my favorite metric to go off of is who did you play?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm an OU fan. I think OU's winning it all this year just on the defense, whether that's realistic or not.
Yeah.
I think it 100% is. But we're getting ready to play Alabama for the 3rd time in 15 months or 14 months or whatever, right? That's a schedule.
It's hard to beat.
We didn't get Georgia in the last 2 years because joining the SEC, we lost that game. But still, that's just one of the 2 teams that I think are most people think SEC. It's Georgia, Alabama. Who you going? Obviously, there's a lot of other good programs. Even A&M. Look at their schedule, right?
Super easy.
They really didn't play anybody, and as soon as they did, it was the Longhorns who thumped them.
Killed them.
Once again, is that strength of schedule? Do those guys deserve to be there? Are they gonna? Are they battle tested enough? I think to come through.
We'll see. I think the playoffs will expose that.
For sure.
We'll see.
All right, Ole Miss, Tulane, where we at?
Well, Ole Miss put a beating on them early in the season, about 30 points.
They did.
So
about 30.
Yeah.
I get some more time. There's a lot of poster board material for Tulane to use here. I think their season got a little hotter towards the end.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a team twice too.
It is hard to beat a team twice. Yeah. Absolutely. And so I think you got to go Ole Miss just due to once again their schedule.
Yeah.
Right. Look who they've played. They're a little more battle tested. We'll see though. That's probably the one. Once again, nothing against JMU, but I feel like this is the game that could go either way. Because Tulane's they're not bad.
This will be a better game between the 2, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that we have a repeat game because we already know Ole Miss is 30 points better than them on that Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little different this time.
We'll see.
Do you think there's anything that can flip it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know Lane Kiffin leaving. I don't know how much of a problem that is for Ole Miss, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Tulane to pull it out.
Yeah. I think him leaving will be more. I mean, no one else left as of right now, right? They lost 3 coaches or something.
I think so.
The D coordinator took over as the head coach now, so it's
still
maybe you're a little more defensive minded, but you're running the same stuff, right? It's not like next season.
Yeah,
we're in the same season here. And honestly, he's probably had guys in the booth helping him do everything head coaches do, right? So those guys are probably still there. So, yeah, I think it can affect them. I don't know that it brings them down enough, though, to take the loss.
It's going to be tough to beat an SEC team. It's going to be tough.
Where are you at on SEC bias? You think it's real?
I think it's the best conference. I'm a little biased myself.
Yeah,
I think it's the best conference.
I think of it getting to see a blue blood program like OU switch conferences last year and looking at like what those games look like.
Yeah.
Right. I was a student at OU. I went to all those Big 12 games, and it's, flashy offenses, but there's something about getting in the phone booth in southeastern United States and going toe to toe with those guys, and the games look different.
I just feel like everyone's bigger and faster and stronger in the SEC. I know it's kind of the eye test. I know you're not supposed to do that, but when you look at players in the SEC, they look bigger, they look faster, they look stronger. That's just my opinion. And you play teams like that every single weekend in, week out. You may play Arkansas, who's not very good, but they still have NFL level talent on their team. Just because they can't put it together doesn't mean it's not going to be a tough game.
That's right.
They play that every week.
Yeah, I mean, we watched the Florida Gators 3-9 or whatever going to, I don't remember if they hosted Texas or went to Texas. But still, I mean, that's Texas probably went into that game thinking like we kind of get a bye week. Not so much, right?
Yeah.
I doubt their coaches let them actually think that. But you have to look at a team that's down. And you're like, hey, let's kick them while they're down. And then they didn't.
That's tough. If an SEC team puts it together, they can beat any other SEC team any week. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, let's talk about the Ohio State branch here. So we've got A&M and Miami in the first game. Where are we at? That's
going to be the best game in my opinion.
Of the whole bracket?
Or just the first round.
Okay.
Either that or the Alabama-Oklahoma, obviously.
Right.
I don't know between the two because they both played Notre Dame very close. Very, very close. I think it was a 3-point difference with A&M and 1 point with Miami, or is that flip-flop, something like that?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really good game. A&M hasn't played anybody except for Texas, and when they did, you saw what happened. Miami's they started off hot. Middle of the season had a little roughness, but they're kind of back on track. So
does that common opponent in Notre Dame, which way does that take? Like, do you think it's good to be able to see that? We visually can use those as a measuring stick. Does that give you a measuring stick for the rest of the bracket? Like, do we think either of those teams could go all the way? Or do you think it's they both played Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's not in it? So,
well, Notre Dame, in my opinion, could have been a contender. I think they were a good team. I mean, I guess we'll see. I think they both played a really good Notre Dame team, and they played them close. So we'll see. We'll end up seeing what happens.
I selfishly wanted Notre Dame and Norman, just because Michigan had the best quarterback in the nation, right? That's what everybody was saying, and they came to Norman, and look what happened, right? Yeah. So I kind of wanted the best running back in the nation to come to Norman and also get shut out. And so I selfishly wanted that. Didn't really want the repeat with Bama, not because of it is hard to beat people twice. It's hard to beat them 3 times in 14 months. Yeah, definitely. But it's still a very winnable game.
Yeah.
But I wanted Notre Dame. So seeing Miami get in, I didn't really agree with it. I know they beat them head up, right? So you have to make the move. But I think I'm with you. Like, I think Notre Dame was the better contender.
Well, the thing too, coming into the championship weekend, Notre Dame was ahead in the rankings, and neither team played that weekend. So what happened?
I think they needed drama to talk about.
Yeah.
So they just, they put them in a place originally so they could have that drama at the end. Let's talk about that Miami team. So they've got the quarterback from Georgia who won national championship there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's finally getting it together and doing some things.
Yeah.
You think that his experience that he brings to the game, you think that helps his team pull off this first round victory?
I think so a little bit, but I also think he's kind of a turnover machine. The same with Marcel Reed. I think that game's going to come down to who turns the ball over less from the quarterback stance. You know what I mean? Marcel Reed had three picks versus Texas. And if you watch the Louisville game with Miami, I think Carson Beck had 4.
Yeah.
Something insane. So I think both quarterbacks can play at a very high level, but when they're pressured and they're playing bad, they're playing really bad. So I think it's going to come down to like which quarterback has more composure.
Yeah, I mean, it's spot on. I would like to think that A&M seeing some SEC defenses prepares them a little bit better for this. Like we said earlier, it probably is SEC bias, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Until we get into one big conference and everybody plays everything, you're never going to be able to solve this problem. Well, yeah, I think honestly, I'm probably taking the Hurricanes out of the first round. Excuse me, but then they have to go play Ohio State.
Yeah.
Do you think Ohio State's that much better than everybody right now? Think they are a walk-in?
I think they're really good. I don't know if they're that much better than everybody. I know Indiana kind of exposed some of the weaknesses, but I didn't feel like they were the real Ohio State that we had seen last year. They kind of played it safe versus Indiana in that championship game. Like offensively, it wasn't the greatest play calling. If they clean some of that up on the coaching side, I think Ohio State can really run through.
I'm pretty interested in it. I do have to state it's obligatory. That's a hard word. To mention that when OU plays Alabama to a 4-point game, it's ugly. Nobody wants to see that. That's disgusting. One of the ESPN reporters, she literally said disgusting. A 7-0 game in the playoffs. She didn't want it. But when Ohio State and Indiana play to a 3-4-point game,
13-10,
then all of a sudden that's great football.
Yeah.
Where are we at on this? Where are you at on that argument?
I think that's crap.
You think defense is where it's at, right?
Yeah, defense is where it's at, and you can't say it for one conference and not the other.
I think I would rather watch a 7-3 just defensive masterclass than the old OU 70 points a game
track meet.
That was fun, and it was great for our receivers. You get a lot of stats. You get recruits in because, they want to go where they're getting up big numbers. I'd rather get the defensive recruits when they're like, hey, we're averaging, giving up 12 points a game or whatever.
Yeah.
Like BV's doing his thing at OU. Do you think that battle tested Ohio State enough to help them make this run?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Seeing a good competition like that right before, you flip number 1, number 2. I'm pretty excited that they don't have to play again until they would theoretically be the national championship game. I don't think both teams make it that far. I think Ohio State, they probably get there. I don't know they beat Georgia in that second game.
I don't see them beating Georgia either.
Yeah. All right, last leg here. Well, we didn't really talk about Georgia, so let's talk about Georgia. As Georgia gets Tulane or Ole Miss, we assume Ole Miss. How much better are they than Ole Miss? How many touchdowns do you think?
I think they're a touchdown better.
You think so? 7 points?
Georgia's a really good. If I'm being realistic, I think Georgia's winning it all.
Yeah.
If I'm being truly realistic, not biased, Georgia's a really good football team.
Yeah, and they showed the resiliency when they bounced back. Sorry, guys, there is a very loud announcement going on here. Getting to see them come back and beat Alabama handedly. Made Alabama look really bad. I thought it was going to get them out of the playoffs altogether. I realized that they couldn't because, it's an extra game that they played and nobody else did. But I think OU broke Alabama.
Which is interesting because BYU also played an extra game and got kicked out of the rankings.
Yeah,
by losing to Tech. Did. And they lost handedly as well.
That's their second loss.
True.
To the same team twice. Like, you got to, right, because they played Tech earlier in the season.
They did,
too,
yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So I think there's just a little more. Also, they're in the Big 12.
True. That is true. That's SEC bias.
It is SEC bias. But I'm thinking Big 10 and SECs are the two conferences. If you can't even run the gauntlet
on the Big 12.
In the Big 12.
I agree.
Or you take 2 losses in conference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that get you to the playoff ever?
No.
That would be good for, next year they're talking about 16 teams. Maybe it gets you in then.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah. It's tough.
All right. So that side, we're assuming Georgia, Ohio State. You think Georgia, you said.
I'm going to go with Georgia.
Which Ohio State shows up for that game?
Well, I'm hoping last year Ohio State. Because that would make it really interesting. But if the Ohio State that showed up versus Indiana shows up, I think Georgia's going to win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of repeat champions. I know it's really hard, and I'm everybody else in the United States is probably thinking this. Like, think about when the Patriots went on their run. Everybody hated the Patriots.
Yeah.
I allowed myself to hate Tom Brady, who I think is probably the best guy to ever touch a football. Okay. When Alabama was in it and winning it every other year, people started hating Alabama. From the coaching side, like, I can respect going back to back. That's awesome. You did the thing, but I don't really want to see it unless it's OU. Like, of course, if it's my team, I want to watch it. Take 10 in a row. I'm cool with it. I know other people are not going to like that, but do you think that experience from that team last year? Now, Georgia's only 2 years removed from winning it themselves. So, do you think the experience there just makes this a great game?
I think so. Yeah. They have a freshman QB at Ohio State? Julian Sand?
Yes, I believe so.
So it's going to come down to him and his composure as well. He's inexperienced. He doesn't have a lot of experience in these big games. I think the Gunnar Stockton kid's a senior, and he's seen these big games. He's been in these big games. He's gonna have the experience, the edge there. I think Ohio State's gonna have to play the perfect game against Georgia to win. I just think Georgia's too fast, too big, too physical.
They're good. Yeah. All right, last leg here we got Oklahoma, Alabama. Where are you at?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with OU because Bama started off their loss with FSU, obviously, and then they went on a hot streak. They beat like 3 top 15 teams in a row. No, that wasn't even done in the Saban era. And then they were on a downtrend, and they might have stayed on a downtrend. And
a lot of elite football in these playoffs and postseason stuff is just getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
I think they got in because of their name. Their logo got them in the playoff, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're getting hot at the right time.
No, I think they're getting cold at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they obviously, like you said earlier, any SEC team can beat another one any given night. And now it's a playoff game in Norman on a Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
I think OU wins it by 2 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
I just think Alabama's not had to be resilient in years past, and now they're getting tested.
Yeah.
New staff, fairly, he's just his second year there.
Second year there, yeah.
So I think they're still trying to build that thing, which sounds so weird to say about Alabama football.
Yeah.
He kind of got the keys to the Ferrari. You know what I mean?
He did.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think OU's 2 touchdowns better this game.
I think OU's defense is just gonna pretty much take over the game.
Yeah.
OU's defense is really good.
We may not score a single point on offense, but Tate Bike Short Sandell is going to launch as many nukes as we have to from 50 plus. Congratulations on your award, Tate. That was awesome. He won the Groza
I saw that
last night, not before last. I don't know what day it was. And then the defense might have 2 touchdowns themselves.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. If the offense can get anything together, it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
And I think they are getting hot at the right time. I think OU is like the opposite of Alabama right now.
Uh-huh.
We took our lumps. The Ole Miss game was kind of a shocker to me. I thought that would be – I honestly thought we were going to beat them. I did not see a loss to Ole Miss coming. Lane Kiffin kind of has our number right now, which we'll see if he keeps it at LSU at his new place. But we just really got to playing some really good football there
at the right time. Yeah.
And the defense figured it out. And, man, they turned that switch on. And I don't know if there's anybody in the nation can turn it off.
I don't think so. No.
Which takes us to OU, most likely, in my opinion. Some of you guys are probably thinking Bama still wins that. But OU, Indiana.
OU, Indiana?
Where are we at?
Jeez. That'd be a good game. I haven't watched much OU football, and I haven't watched much Indiana football. But an SEC team, I'm taking the SEC team.
Let's go. After he won the Heisman last night, we have to think that's the biggest offensive test of the year for OU's defense. Obviously, Ole Miss does it with scheme, and they obviously got some dudes down there too. I think OU wins that game. I don't think it's as comfortably as I want it to be. It might be like getting a stop in the fourth quarter to let Tate Sandell nail a 58-yarder or something, right? To kind of walk that game off. It's the playoffs. Everybody's good. Well, supposed to be good. It's supposed to be the 12 best teams in the nation.
10 best.
So, right, 10-2.
Yeah.
And so, I think obviously you can't go into that game cocky, but I'm still pretty confident in BV's ability to break down that offense and put his guys in a position to succeed.
I agree.
All right, let's just call it all the way to the end here. You still got Georgia?
Well, I'm gonna go Raiders because I'm a Raiders fan. But if the Raiders don't win it, I'm gonna go Georgia.
Okay, I've got Sooners. I have them beating Georgia in the national championship game. Outside of that, it may be Indiana's year. Like,
you think so?
You can't. Yeah, Signetti's just got them spinning like a top, man.
Yeah, they're good. They're getting hot. They've been hot the entire season, staying hot.
Yeah, I have to pick my Sooners over them, but if we don't get to the big game, I think it's Indiana.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Will, your very first podcast.
Yep.
Jumping on in front of. We had some live viewers today. I don't know how many. Several of them at one point. Great to talk a little college ball. We don't talk a lot of college ball in the podcast. It's a high school ball podcast, really. So, appreciate you jumping on today.
Cool, of course.
Yeah, start a podcast. It's so much fun.
It's so fun.
We got to get one going for the Hogs. You people in Arkansas, up there in Fayetteville. Look for your guy Will out here walking the streets.
Walking Dixon.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate you very much. Thank you guys for sticking around. We will be back here within the next 30 minutes or so. I think we're going to get about 2 or 3 more shows today. We got some coaches coming by. Got some coaches from different states. Florida coach here tonight. So it should be good shows closing out the day. Talk a little more football, a little more high school stuff like you used to. Appreciate you guys. Have a great one.